안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 마리벨입니다. Hi guys, it's Maribel and welcome back to another video, like a little mini diary series that I'm doing. So today I want to share with you all another story time. Story time involves an early friendship of two girls and traveling to a new city and becoming closer friends. Because of hardships, and hardships bring you together because you gotta rely on each other. And there was so much trust happening. So this story involves my dear friend Esme. I think we had just met a couple, like probably a week previous to this specific situation. So she invited me to a cultural festival that they would be having in Suwon, and I was like, yeah, like I'm down. I want to get full-on experiences about everything. And she was like, yeah, it's a day trip. Like, I think it won't take too long to get there. And I was like, okay. And I honestly didn't know where Suwon was. So I don't know where we decided to meet. But then we took, I think it was like lane 3 or lane 1, all the way down to Suwon. And we got on a bus based on instructions that she had gotten from a website, I believe. Or just instructions that she had gotten from like a pamphlet that was like, what was it? Like, foreigners come visit Suwon for like a cultural event. That's what I could imagine. So yeah, we were there. It was a lantern festival and it was
beautiful. I was just like in shock. I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. Suwon is so nice. It's very historical, very rich. There's a lot of amazing architectural just sites within Suwon, and I think it's very special, and it's just like you feel Korean culture just embracing you.
We really didn't have an agenda. We're just like, oh, let's see if we could see the lanterns and lantern festival, and we were very excited about that. Apparently we were on a bus and we didn't know where to get off. We saw a lot of events going on and a lot of people, and we're just like, oh my god, so like where does this lead? We saw the lanterns and we're like, okay, do we get off the bus or do we stay on the bus? Do you think? And I don't know, I'm a very like nervous person about like missing opportunities, I guess. And I was like, well, there's events over here, like are you sure that we want to go like deeper into the city and not like find our way back? So we got off the bus and we saw all these like beautiful locations and stuff, so we ended up just walking from where we got off the bus around in that specific location. There was beautiful lanterns everywhere. We took some really nice night like sunset shots, and the fortress was in that surrounding area, and it was beautiful. So we enjoyed the sights, and as we were walking back to the area where most of the cultural events that we saw were going on, so we walked in that general direction. There was some beautiful lanterns and some beautiful like just performances that were going on. There was a like crown prince and his failure to impress his father because he was kind of a lazy prince, and there was a girl that wanted to marry him, and then there was a lot of like dancing in between, a lot of like expression, like the prince was sad but he had to grow up to become the next king, and so he did a lot of like growing in that process or whatever, and it was like a cute story, and there was like balloons at the end of it all, and there was these impressive like a woman like drum like I don't know what they're called, like woman drummers, and just like full-on Korean it was beautiful. Just like these are a couple pictures from that night. Like I mentioned, Suwon is so rich in culture and tradition, and it was just so stunning and left me in awe. These are a couple of the performers, and yeah, we had a great time. Like the attention to detail and everything, and like the mayor of Suwon came out and he was like, hi and thank you for being here. And Suwon is a city south of Seoul, and almost everything outside of Seoul has no English translation. Yeah, that's where we face trouble. So when we finished the show, we saw that everybody was getting into these buses. These buses were packed, and we needed to get on one of those buses. And it was just so hard because we didn't want to miss our bus back, but we also didn't want to miss a train back home. So and guys, I recommend, if you're in Korea or you're gonna be studying in Korea, and it's just like, don't trust Google Maps or Google anything, because it's so faulty. Like it's not updated. It's not. Everyone uses Naver. Everyone uses Kakao, like bus, Kakao Metro, Kakao, everything Kakao. I can recommend for you. But anyway, I had I think it was based on research that I came across this app that showed you. It was like a downloadable map app that showed you the general direction that you were walking in without having Wi-Fi or needing data. And I had that app installed in my phone, and my friend Esme was like, oh, I think we could get on this bus, we can get on any of these buses, and they will take us to like the general direction that we wanted to go to get the metro back home. And I was like, okay, very trusting. But honestly, mind us, we are in a different city that we are not familiar with. We have only been living in Korea for a month at this point. Less than a month, I think. Yeah, it was probably the second week of September. We're just like, okay, we're chilling. We're gonna find a place. We're gonna do this. And we end up going, and it's just like, Suwon is such an interesting city. I honestly do not know how it's laid out or what direction ended up, like, us being so far east. Anyway, we were on this bus, and the bus, I just like, I immediately, I don't know, I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know what we're doing, where we're going. Let's hope this takes us somewhere. It was getting late. It was like 10, almost 11 p.m. This bus, and I was like, yo, we need to catch the last train home. So there was so much anxiety and like desperation within Esme, and I could sense it, and that was stressing me out. It wasn't that I was stressed out that we weren't gonna catch the last bus. It was like seeing Esme freaking out so much that freaked me out. So I guess that was one of the things that I was like, girl, no, it's okay. Like, we got this. Like, we got this. So I pulled out my app because I geniusly I was like, wait, I have a map that can tell us where we're at. It was like an epiphany from God that was like, yo, Maribel, use your resources. So I had this map, right? So I looked at my map, this app of a map. So I was like, oh gosh, Esme, we are going in the opposite general direction of where we're supposed to be going. And I was like, we're here. We're supposed to be going that way. Like, we passed that way so long ago. So in our realization, we came that we were going northeast instead of northwest where we wanted to go. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't know what bus we got on. I don't know. So we were just kind of like freaking out, and we're like, I don't know, like what. And so on my app, it kind of shows you like the metro system, like where it's at and stuff, and like what's surrounding that area. And I don't know, we were going we're going north, but we're going east, and we could feel like we were going east. And I was just like, where are we going? Like, where does this bus even take you? Like, if it goes that far. And I know buses run a long time, but the bus system in Korea is so difficult to decipher, and if you don't know the route of the bus, like, it's really, like, honestly, you can't trust it because you don't know where you're gonna end up, and that is freaky. We saw this, there was a specific bus stop, because it was just like making stops and people were getting off, and there was a point where there was like only a couple people left on this bus, and we were those couple people. And we saw a metro station. Like, I always say, the metro brings you hope, because once you see the metro, you're like, I know how to get home. Like, yes, you did it, thank you, Lord. So we ended up being at this metro station, and literally this metro station was so far like south, and like we would have to stay on the train for more than an hour and a half just to get home. And how are we gonna make it home before the last train? So we were on this train, and I would comfort my friend and tell her like, no, Esme, we're gonna get home, like it's okay, we're on the metro now, like we're gonna get on the last train, it's fine, we have to make like 2 transfers, but that's it, like we are gonna make it home. And so we were on this like line, I don't even know where we transferred. I was so like frazzled, mentally frazzled. I transferred to line 2 that I knew and reassured me that I would get home if I stayed on line 2. So I ended up on line 2 and just taking it all the way home. We just found hope that if we could get on the train to the green line home, we would get home. Some way, one way or another, we would get home. And honestly, we got home. I texted her the next morning. I'm like, are you okay? Is like you got home? Or not the next morning, but when she got home, or that same night, I was like, are you home? Like, is it all good? Like, I'm home, I'm fine. And then she's like, yeah, I'm home too. And then the next morning I texted her, and like we like sent each other pictures from the night, and we just laughed so much because it was honestly an experience where we had to trust each other so much. And like there was one thing, like both our efforts got us home that night, and it was such a fun experience just from the like experiencing getting lost, like truly lost for the first time, and just like hanging out basically for more than, I don't know, there was more than 7 hours there for sure. And just freaking out together, but seeing each other's like freaked out moments, but like having comfort that we had each other in that situation was kind of like the best thing ever. I think that's something that brought me and Esme together, and we've been through the same things and we feel the same things, so we understand each other, I feel like. And then from then on we had these like very funny situations where she could finish the words to my sentences and someone pointed it out, and it's just like, yeah, it's because we know each other so well, like we know what we're feeling and thinking. So that was something that we will always laugh about and definitely see as like the determining point to our like the real start to our friendship. And it was just like, I feel like we invested so much in each other at that point that is like, we are so good friends because we've been through so much. Very similar. We're, I don't know, it was just like a very immediate connection to like our ways of being. So yeah, I'm very thankful for Esme, and yeah, I think that's what I wanted to express with you to you guys in this story time, how me and a friend became closer in friendship because we got lost together in the dark night in Suwon. But yeah, it all turned out to be good, and we laugh about it now, but in that moment it was so stressful and crazy. But anyway, I think that's the story. If you enjoyed this story, let me know. Comment down below what you liked and what you thought was hilarious. And I don't know, if you want to have more story times like this one on this channel, I really appreciate that you were here and that you listened to this. Yeah, I think that was that. I love you guys. Thank you for watching once again. Bye.